what you saying with the clutch?
Good morning!
Don't scare him off.
Check these out. It's hot. Good morning, you absolute lovelies. Welcome back to a very cold Great Britain. It's about -2 degrees. Following on from the old school theme that we're running at the moment, I think you guys have kind of worked out, and I've kind of worked out as well, that you guys really kind of do enjoy watching these older retro cars. Just like the 8-Reg 1990 GT Turbo, I've also got this really cool Mark II Golf GTI 8-valve, which is also a 1990 8-Reg. And it's quite interesting really to think that these cars came out at a very similar time. Renault 5's obviously very lightweight, it's got a carburetor and a turbo. This car's a little bit chunkier, and yeah, it's got a slightly bigger engine but obviously no turbo. I was actually very personally surprised driving the 8-valve on how quick it was. The amount of low down torque is pretty incredible, to be fair. Growing up, I always heard people harping about 16 valves. It was always 16 valves, 16 valves. So I almost had a bit of a sort of lower opinion on the 8-valve, despite never actually driving it. From speaking to some of you guys in the comment section, I think the 16 valve is kind of more of a revvy engine. You kind of have to rev it out to the top of the red line, whereas the 8-valve is more about the low down torque. It hasn't got quite as much power up top being an 8-valve, but you have got lots of low down torque, which does make the car very drivable around town. James and Ed pretty much said the same thing. The 8-valve is actually a very strong motor and it's very reliable as well. I've actually got car butler detailing coming up to give the Golf a little bit of a clean, because it's got quite dirty over the last few weeks. And then once I've done that, I'll give you guys a proper look round so you can kind of see how original this car really is. I did get a little bit worried about the VR5 sometimes, not in a sort of crazy way, but obviously the car was super clean. And when you're driving sort of through like country lanes to the farm and stuff, it's not the kind of car you want to scrape down bushes. You want to try and look after it. Equally, this car is very nice, but because it's just not quite as ridiculously mint as the other one, it's definitely sort of more usable on a daily basis. I bought this GTI from a very nice chap. He actually had a black one as well, another 8-valve, which was in really nice condition. He's just put the car through an MOT about a month ago. It did fail on a few bits, but it's got a real clean bill of health, and he got all the little bits sorted and got it through the MOT. It's been nicely looked after over the years. It's got loads of service history. Mileage now is 145,000 miles. So bearing in mind that this car is 30 years old, it's actually not a lot of mileage for the age of the car. One thing at the moment is it might need a new clutch. James did actually tell me you can adjust these clutches, so it might be a case that we just need to adjust it. The biting point is quite high on the pedal, so it might be a case that we can adjust it. If not, I'll replace the clutch and put a fresh one in there. I've also bought a cool set of wheels for this off a nice lady called Georgia on eBay there. BBS RA, so exactly the same as the ones I bought for the other Mark II. This one's also got electric windows, and it hasn't got power steering either, but obviously with the little wheels, even with the 15x6s, and the steering is pretty light on these, to be fair, so even without power steering you're not really gonna struggle. We have arrived at the farm. We've also got Nessie Noms in tow. She's driving the Volvo V50. We're going to be doing hopefully a wheel bearing on it today as well, because the wheel bearing is absolutely knackered. And yeah, John literally can't drive the car anymore. It feels like the wheel's going to fucking fall off, so it is finally time to replace the wheel bearing. Nessie Nombos, looking sleepy but still very beautiful. You're still beautiful when you're sleepy. Like I said, James is going to have a quick look at our wheel bearing. I think it's on that side, just to see. Nessing's is this side, I think it's on the other side. We actually bet £10, remember? We bet £10, yeah. You better get out of the bank and get your money out, mate. Because I'm definitely telling you it's the passenger side. Mark II Golf, looking absolutely fabulous. We've been using it as a daily, but in a second, once the lads from Car Butler get in, we'll start giving it a nice little spruce. This one's already got a standard steering wheel, which is nice to see. That's all the clocks. That's the tape deck I was talking about earlier. Awesome little Golf gear knob, pretty sick. Electric windows, which is quite rare. Obviously the VR5 had Armatronics windy windows. This has got the optional extra of electric windows, which is pretty savage. I've just been told as well, I've just won the bet with Nessie Noms. Right, Nessie Noms, how much do you owe me?
Woo! Monky got it right, woo!
So it was in fact the passenger side wheel bearing.
Yeah, you'll win.
We'll show the audience what the wheel bearing looks like once we take it out. I think there won't be many wheel bearings. Jamesy, VW specialist, what are you saying with the clutch?
Well, that cable's stretched, that's at the maximum amount of its adjustment. You've still got a bit of play, so I'd suggest a new cable.
So it might not actually need a new clutch?
Well, it might do, because these gearboxes have got a pin that goes through the centre, which is actuated off this rod. And over time they wear, because you've constantly got the clutch spinning on the end.
Pretty cool, my old mucker. Mr. James, he's been working on, well, all sorts of cars for a long time, but he specifically likes VWs a huge amount. And he's also going to be refurbishing the wheels that I mentioned earlier. He's a wheel refurbisher by trade, as well as a really good mechanic. I'll actually chuck his Instagram down here, JJ Works Official. If you guys need any wheels doing, or you need any bits doing on your cars, feel free to give him a shout, because he's very, very reasonable and very knowledgeable. I'm just going to drive the Golf round to Mr. Car Butler Detailing. Absolute legend confirmed.
Good morning!
Morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody in Monkeyland, from our family to your family. Make it a good one.
Where's the sun?
The sun, unfortunately. Oh, that one. Mate, I don't know. He's packed his bags and buggered off.
It's meant to come out a little bit later today, I've heard.
Is he? Don't know. Don't scare him off.
She's genuine, she's very original, put it that way. It's never been cleaned, I think, for 30 years.
A bit like parts of me.
It's an honest engine, babe. It'd be just a bit nicer when they give it away, but it's a bit fresher underneath.
Somebody gonna be lucky.
You can buy a ticket.
So,
I'll do special family discount.
I want to.
Quickly show you guys around the rest of the car so you can kind of see how dirty she currently is. Did you ever have a Mark 2, Mark 1?
No, Reese has just got rid of his Mark 3.
Oh shit.
And we've been and bought, it's either a Mark 5 or a Mark 6. Lovely car.
But you do have a mate that's doing a full forged, can I say it?
It's got a full forged VR6 turbo
Very nice.
in a Mark 2.
Which will be pretty quick. Still front wheel drive?
Yeah, I have no idea on the ins and outs of it. It's literally just come back from painting the like sort of the purpley bluey colour.
Got
It
you.
looks mint.
What about you, Joe? VR6 fan?
Yeah, it's got a turbo on it,
Yeah.
really. You've got to make the most of it.
You're doing a VR5?
I'm going to do
build?
V5 turbo, 10 mil.
Sounds sick though. Like an Audi?
A little bit like an Audi.
Everyone loves an Audi. First protocol is we're taking it degreaser.
Yeah, engine bay degreaser. Let's get it in there. Let it soak for a while. Obviously, if that's been there for 30 years, some of that stuff, which it hasn't. If you look up here, it's all very loose anyway. She's been loved. Somebody's loved this car a lot. Grime remover on there as well. We'll leave that for a few minutes just to do its thing to loosen everything up. Then we'll attack it. Got a new brush. Dad comes prepared.
As you guys can see, we've laid down some degreaser, which is now sitting on the engine just to try and sort of embed into the dirt and start to loosen it. One super clean Mark II coming up. Sounds like a goal. Golf is starting to look pretty sick. Jay's been working very hard for the last couple of hours just getting in all the nooks and crannies and making it look fantastic. I've also managed to find the BBS centre caps. I've actually got 4. One of them the clip is missing and the other one of the little plastic trims is missing, so you can't actually fix it on the wheel. Engine bay looks
We're
sick.
looking good.
What a difference, man. That's the engine bay all fully prepped. It is still drying off. Definitely looks much better now it's all been spruced up. Bonnet's all looking lovely and shiny as well. In a little second we're going to go around and just chuck a little bit of sort of like back to black or sort of similar material on the bumpers just to sort of bring the black plastic shine back up to scratch. That's a quick little look in the interior. All the carpets have come up lovely. Jay's also scrubbed all the seats and all the back of the the back of the seats as well, just to get them looking nice and clean. He was sort of saying as well, it's quite rare to really find a car like this which has been kept in original condition. Last but not least, he's just going over all the windows, just getting all the glass polished and looking nice and fresh. Lovely looking car, and it should look pretty cool once we get the 15-inch BBS RAs on there as well, which we should be going to pick up a little bit later. Bodywork is also extremely clean. All the panels are nice and straight. It hasn't had a sort of huge amount of paint work. Golf GTI, baby. We've got a little question for you guys in the audience as well. Car Butler Detailing have been running this transporter for a few years now. As you guys can see, it's pretty sick, and he has some pretty wonderful graphics down the sides. Jay is actually contemplating changing his van. Maybe.
Don't shout at me. Thinking trading it in for a Transit Sport. Question is for you. Do I or do I not? If I don't, do I change the graphics? If I keep the van and change the graphics,
what should they be?
What would you like to see on there?
Yeah, that's cool.
Nothing rude.
Yeah, no pornographic material,
My mum
please.
sees the van.
So yeah, let us know. You guys have got the question. Should he keep the transporter and change the graphics, or would you like to see him buy a Transit and do a similar sort of thing, or put some new graphics on it? Feel free to let us know below. You guys can call the shots. They're very well equipped, the new Transits.
Thing is, you can get a 170 and you can remap it to 220 horsepower.
Crazy, and many talks.
You know that's coming in. She's a rare one because they only made the petrol for 2 years. So that's a 2 litre TFSI.
Okay.
All the Sportline stuff on the front, on the back, sidebars, obviously the bowlers up the side of it as well. Bentley stitch interior.
It's
you
nice.
know, it was a lot of money.
This is kind of becoming a van advert. So if you do decide you want him to get a Transit, does anyone want to buy the transporter? And safe to say you kept it very clean. I mean, I'd hope so, being a detailer.
Hey, listen, she's been ceramic coated from day one. Obviously with the wrap on there, it's not scratched underneath, it can't be. So...
Any burnouts?
No. Too old for burnouts.
Yeah,
What's a burnout?
right. If any of you guys would like to give a little bid on the van, feel free to give them a shout. Mk2 Golf, looking absolutely fabulous. You never cease to amaze me. You always make my cars look absolutely fantastic. And we're going to be doing the M3 next week as well, because that is starting to look pretty rank. If you guys want to give Car Butler Detailing a shout and book your car in for some extra noms, website address is right there. Don't forget. We're also going to do a special deal for Monkey London fans as well, aren't we?
Yep, if you go to Car Butler website or give us a call, mention Monkey London, we do a promo code, 10% off all products and services. Stay tuned though, because we are in the middle of a negotiation with a very well-known ceramic coating company, so good deals could be coming your way very soon.
Car Butler Detailing for the absolute win. Make sure you give him a cheeky little follow right down here. Nessie and I, we're going to go and have a bit of lunch, and then we're going to set off probably on a road trip to go and pick up some new BBS wheels. Happy days. Carson Performance. Going to pop in and check out Mr. Scouser. You guys would probably love to see him because you haven't seen him since New Year. Pretty cool S15 spec R on the ramp, which Scouser's obviously doing a few bits to. Really nice tidy looking interior as well. SR20 DET, nice to see an S15 looking, relatively speaking, quite straight, unlike my old one. monkeylondon.com, do a buy. And Scousy's not here.
5 minutes later.
And by magic! Hello!
You've been looking for me?
I have, yeah. The audience wanted to say hello.
Oh, hi.
They haven't seen you since December.
Oh, the Civic.
The Civic. Oh, I just wanted to get those beautiful blue eyes on the camera, man. How you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, got lots to do.
You're really
No
busy,
parts,
aren't you?
Busy.
Yeah.
Jamie's back tomorrow, so it's good.
Happy
And
days.
Danielle.
And what were you doing on the S15? I showed the audience quickly. It looks really nice, that one.
Basically, it was bought as a non-runner. So it's trying to look into problems. It's got a noisy fuel pump, certainly not helping. So once I've got fuel pressure, then I can go through and
Start working out what.
see if it's got spark and other bits and bobs. Yeah.
What do you think, man? Another Golf?
Another one.
Yeah, another Mark 2.
Is this a keeper?
Potentially. Everything's a keeper potentially.
Yeah, but everything's always for sale as well.
Very true.
For the right price.
Money counts, man.
Nessie
Yeah,
for sale?
Is Ness for sale? Yeah. What are you thinking? What should we do? Raffle price?
Pound a ticket?
$4.99.
1 million tickets? You'd probably sell out, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair, I'd even buy a fucking ticket. Next week at some point we'll get the GT Turbo on the ramp and check out that French goodness. Booyakasha! The 8-valve has got plenty of torque. Wait, whoever said 8 valves are slow was tripping. They are definitely not slow. Listen, Noms. We are just going to go to the post office very quickly to send some of your absolutely gorgeous goods. Is it open? I hope it is. Hey, look at that. Look at these cool little packages I've got going, man. Hide the address, obviously. Very Monky, very Nom. Don't forget, spunkylondon.com. Do a buy. The best merchandise on the planet.
Sounds like a Golf.
Sorted. Post office, absolute legends as well. Just give me a whole load of sacks. Right, what are we doing next, Nessie Noms?
We pick up some wheels.
Yeah, road trip. We're going to Cambridge, which is a place where there's a famous university. As you can see, the lighting in older cars isn't as good as new cars, but it's got a character, that's all that matters. And by magic, one lovely looking Mark II all the way safely in Cambridge. Check these out. Bear in mind, the lady that had them, she had a red Polo, so obviously they were painted to match her car. We'll paint the centres silver or whatever colour you think. We could maybe do like a sort of body matching colour. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think. Yeah, these are the brand new BBS RAs that I've just picked up. They do look pretty sick. Exactly the same as the wheels I put on the VR5 Mark II. Apart from the fact they're obviously a slightly different colour, but they're 15x6. They've also got some pretty decent rubber on them as well, so I'll probably just fit the wheels with the tyres once they've all been refurbished. The current wheels are pretty cool. We're not actually sure if they're from an E30. We're not 100% sure. Ed said they might be from something a bit different. I do think once we get the new wheels painted in silver, they'll definitely make the car look a bit smarter, and they're 15s over 14s. 14s aren't too bad on these, but 15s will fill the arches just a little bit more. Nom nom. That's it for today's little episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We'll be doing a new one on the Golf once we get the wheels all refurbished.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give us a like, write comments, many comments.
Nessie and I look forward to.
See you soon.
Wicked, jungle is massive. Wicked, original. Money, one of them must bring them like a way. New town, freedom, not to the must be. Dance can nice and less with. As the girls here with voices that them dreams get fulfilled. Booyaka, booyaka, them dream on the dance. Booyaka, booyaka. Incredible.